Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today, I want to talk about Pioneer Magic the Gathering's one of their newest formats that's starting to get some traction. And it's actually a format that at my local game store, we just started over the last couple weeks doing for Friday Night Magic, and it's a perfect opportunity because Pioneer Challenger decks just came out. So we're going to talk about those a little bit. We're going to talk about the format a little bit, and we're also going to ask the question, is it worth it financially to pick up these decks, and is there any long-term ideas in for that? So first off, let's talk about the format for Pioneer. Pioneer is a set. It's a format that starts at Return to Ravnica, so it's kind of like Modern but newer. It's a more modern, and all the sets over the last couple years that are standard sets go into the Pioneer format, and it kind of, you add the cards every time. So like Diabolic Intent, I think that's the card that's come out in Brothers War, being added into the Pioneer format is going to affect the Pioneer format moving forward. And it's just a great format if you don't want to dive into Modern and the more turn 2, turn 3 stuff. If you want a little bit of a slower format, a little bit more interaction with one another, this is a fantastic format. So these Challenger decks are a perfect way for you to hop into the format if your local game store or if your kitchen table, your friends at your table want to do a new format. This is a great product to hop in. So let's take a look at what these decks are, and I'm going to tell you kind of the overview of each deck, and then we're going to get into which ones are worth it and what the value is within these things. So first off, you've got my favorite colors here. You got the Gruul Stompy. These were the first colors I ever played in Magic, and I love the idea of ramping into big things, and that's exactly what this does. So you're going to drop Mana Dorks, you're going to ramp up faster than your opponents, and then you're going to drop things like Questing Beast and Bone Crusher Giant to really overtake the board, as well as some flying. You got a Flying Dragon and the Glory Bringer there. So if you like big stompy creatures, that is your deck. It's pretty quick, it's pretty fast. You're either going to win by flying over everybody and doing more damage, or you're going to lose by not getting things out fast enough. Meanwhile, you're going to be going up against things like Orzhov Humans, which is a go wide strategy. A bunch of humans, strength in numbers, going wide. Orzhov's pretty cool too, but this is mostly just going wide and then antheming your creatures to kind of overwhelm the board. This is a good deck. This is definitely the least valuable of the decks, and also probably the most boring, but in a lot of ways the most efficient as well. Then you've got your typical Izzet Phoenix deck. If you've played Magic the Gathering in the last 5 years, you're probably familiar with this deck, whether it would be in Standard or if you play Pioneer, it's been around for a long time. The Izzet Phoenix deck revolves around things like Thing in the Ice and Arclight Phoenix that care about how many instants and sorceries you played, and the Phoenix comes back from your graveyard. Pretty straightforward deck. You're going to be winning with kind of by flying over your opponents again, and doing a lot of fun stuff like that. Really cool deck. Izzet Phoenix has been around for a long time. And then you've got your Demiurge Control, and if you like control, slow, grindy matchups, this is the one for you. You're going to control what your opponents are doing, and then you're going to be dropping like Torrential Gear Hulk and doing some Shark Typhooning. So pretty cool decks, a lot of fun. I think in a vacuum these are good, but also Challenger decks historically have been pretty competitive, especially at like the Friday Night Magic level. If you're going into a Friday Night Magic, these decks should be able to pull off 1 or 2 or 3 wins. If you're a really good Magic player, you might even be able to win with these. I know my buddy Joey has won with just Challenger decks back when they were in Standard, but now they're doing the Pioneer thing. But when they were just Standard decks, he won with some of the Challenger decks a couple weeks in a row. It was really cool to see that. But if you're looking to take a stab at a format, a $40 deck, I've got these available for $40 at cavdainsmarket.com. If you're interested, I'll leave a comment in the comment section. But a $40 deck is a really great entry ramp. It doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. You don't have to wait for things to ship to you and to get all the cards. These are a great product if you're looking to get into the format, because you're going to save money, but you're also going to get everything all in one in an all-encompassing package that is actually efficient and practical in use in the tournament scene. Now, you're not going to win major tournaments and that kind of thing. This is a Friday Night Magic type thing, or a great kitchen table thing. If you've got a group of Commander players and you want to hang out at your table and do something other than Commander, this is a great thing to pick up as well. But now let's ask the question, is it worth it? Is it worth it financially, or is this just a waste of money? And the question to that is really going to be, how does the secondary market affect things? But let's take a look at Magic the Gathering Goldfish, MTG Goldfish, and take a look at where the values are. These are a little high, to be honest. Like Thing in the Ice, you can get for like $7 now. And maybe that's because they've already started going down as a result of being reprinted in a deck like this. But for $40, you're still getting, even if you call Thing of Ice a $5 card, Arclight Phoenix a $5 card, you're still getting a good chunk of value. You get a Sulfur Falls, you get a Steam Vents, a Shockland. These are decks that they didn't really back off a ton. They could have put 4 Steam Vents in here and it would be certainly better and more valuable. They kind of try to protect the secondary market a little bit with that. But you're gonna get more than $40 out of cards that are worth more than $5, in my opinion, on most of these decks. So again, if you can buy one of these, you can try it out at a Friday Night Magic, and if you don't enjoy the format, you can sell 5 or 6 of the cards to make the majority of your money back. It's kind of a risk-free investment, in my opinion. You get an opportunity to play the game in a different way, and then you have the opportunity to sell the cards for really what you paid for it. The $40 price tag on these is pretty cheap. It seems like a good way to take a stab at the format if you're interested. So you've got a lot of the values baked in Thing on the Ice and Arclight Phoenix. So you got like $20 to $25 probably worth of value in those 2 cards. Then you got your Steam Vents. That's a $10 to $12 card. I know they've got it for $18, but mix that with some Sulfur Falls and you got your $40 back. And then the rest of the cards you can add to some Commander decks or whatever if you don't like them. Or you can just make a stripped down version. You probably can't do this deck without Phoenix, but Dimir Control, again, $112. You've got the Torrential Gear Hulk. That's probably more like a $4 card, not a $5 card. Narset's probably come down quite a bit. Fatal Push sitting at $13 for the play set. Those will come down a little bit. But you do have a Watery Grave in here. You've got Field of Ruin, which is a good card, not very much value, but you've got Drowned Catacomb, which is a great Commander kind of staple that a lot of people put this land cycle on their Commander deck. So you're not going to see these like completely tank in value because they were printed. You will see these go down a little bit. They're not going to completely tank though. And then you got the Shark Typhoon, which was just printed as well in the Secret Lair recently. So again, you've got your $40 worth of value here, and then you've got the extra cards that kind of are mostly bulk, but you've got $40 worth of value in most of these decks. The Gruul Stompy one, you're starting to get a little bit less value, although a lot of the value here is baked into this Rending Volley, which just hasn't seen the reprints that it needs. I think that's probably going to be what causes this one to lose some value. This is not going to hold up at whatever it is, $5 a card. There's 3 of them. It's a sideboard card. You got your Stomping Ground. That's $5, $10 card. Questing Beast, though, again, Commander cards that you probably would end up wanting to have, but they're put and packaged together in this deck that seems like a great way, again, to try out a new format, to give something a new shot, and to try playing a different format that maybe you're not familiar with. And then lastly, the last least expensive of these decks, but maybe the best option, is this Orzhov Humans. And I say that because most of the value of the other decks is baked into a few of the higher tier like creatures and that kind of stuff. But the Orzhov Humans deck, you actually get like a Mutavault, you get 2 of those. You've got the Godless Shrine, you've got Concealed Courtyard, you get 4 of the Kaladesh cards, you get 4 of the Caves of Keolos. The real estate in this deck is a lot better than the other decks. And so if you are considering things like, hey, can I use these cards in Commander and that kind of stuff, you're always going to have a room for Concealed Courtyard. As long as you are playing the colors in Commander, you can slide these into your Commander decks, whatever other format that they're legal in for you. But you got Thalia, you got the Lieutenants. These aren't going to have very much value, and especially being printed as 4-ofs in these decks, you're going to see the values of these cards dip significantly below that $1.50 price point. But a lot of the lands here, I think, are pretty good, and that's a decent win. So I think the value of these at $40 is certainly there. I think if you are if you're gonna buy these to flip, if you're gonna buy these to sell singles, I would not touch that. If you're gonna buy these to hold for sealed product, I don't think I would touch that. I think if I were you and I saw these on the LGS shelf, or if I was, I don't know, watching a YouTube video and I was interested in these, I would pick these up. If you have a kitchen table group that's looking for something fun, you could pick up all 4 of them, you could pick up 2 of them, and you could just, between games, and you could jam some new format, and everybody could be on the same playing field. I think that's a really cool thing about these decks. If you're looking for an uber competitive thing, I don't think that this is necessarily the best way to start. Your probably best bet is to look up the meta and build one of the top tier meta decks if you're looking to play more consistently like that. But if you're looking to dip your toes in, and this is what I hope happens at the local store for me, if people are looking to dip their toes into Magic or into Friday Night Magic, this seems to be the perfect product. As a store owner, what I'm doing is, if you buy one of these on Friday night, you get to play in the Pioneer tournament for free, which essentially saves you $10 off the whole thing. So $40, you get a full deck and you get to play in the event. I think it's a really great way to help spread the format and help spread the growth of that. So if you're interested in these, I've got them in the comment section below, but also I would love to hear why you like or why you don't like Pioneer. It's a format that's relatively new for me, that I've hopped into over the last couple weeks, and I've really enjoyed the back and forth nature of it. But I would love to hear from you what you like about the format or what you don't like about the format. And if you like these decks, let me know which one you like the best. There is one of the cards in these decks, I can't remember off the top of my head, is actually banned in Pioneer, which is crazy. But if you keep the deck all together, you're allowed to play with it. I can't remember which deck or what card it is. Sorry about that. But hope you guys have yourself a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and let me know what you think about Pioneer in the comment section below.